going on, y'all? Nas back with another energy intel. This one is going to step away from pretty much a investment, assets kind of message into a more so mentality thinking message, right? So if you've been subscribed and paying attention to a lot of my videos recently, I've been talking about silver, gold. I've been talking about crypto, Zcash, pretty much a lot of monetary, assets that, can gain in value, right? But even still, understanding those topics require a certain mind frame mentality that we have to be in. So when we see these terms and we understand these opportunities, they are more familiar rather than having to keep, trying to understand it, figure it out, and then end up being too late to the actual opportunity, right? So before I dive into it, just like this video, subscribe, and just keep the support going, because it really means a lot to me, and it really helps me keep going and sharing this type of information to the ones that want to see it and hear about it, right? So with 2026 starting, it's a lot of things changing, whereas before, maybe 5-10 years ago, the changes wasn't really effective or seen as imperative, right? So now we in 2026, so much is changing. The climate changing, the systems changing, rules are changing, leaders in power are changing, right? The powers that be have changed. And with that, we have to change. We have to adapt. We have to get more familiar with the new things coming. And one of the things I want to point out is to the youth, to the upcoming classes, the new adults, the adults of the future. We have to get into this mindset of privacy, right? Privacy and ownership. It's been far too long that we've watched our parents, our elders, our ancestors pretty much not own anything, right? Like pretty much getting loans, pretty much getting handouts from systems and governments to essentially get ahead, right? So the thinking that they will pass down is not ownership or, privacy. It will be how to get those loans, right? How to get those handouts, how to be in position where they want to give you a handout or give you the loan, right? But in today's timing, that type of thinking will only lead to more debt, will only lead to us not getting to where we want to be fully, and will keep us dependent on others and their success for our little gains, right? We watch our parents struggle, have multiple jobs, complain about taxes and, all these things that, because you were dependent on this system, because you was dependent on this employer, it caused you to be dependent on their success and their say-so for your benefit, right? We Gen Z, the new adults, the new generations of the future, we have to get out of that mindset. We have to get out of how to put us in a position just to get a loan, right? How to get our credit score up just to be approved, right? These are the mentalities of, pretty much modern slavery, pretty much modern, dependencies. And that's not what we want to be. We don't want to keep dependent on a system that is not only taking more from us, but it's failing. The system that our parents was dependent on is failing. It has failed. So why would we continue to go into the same thinking for a system that is failing or has failed? And that's where I kind of want to get this message out there, is like the start of this year, we have opportunity to shift not only the culture, but shift our mindset, shift our thinking, shift our beliefs, shift ideologies we thought we once need to adapt to, and either creating or learning newer ideologies that we can adapt to, that not only fits for who we are, but fits the timing that we are in, right? We want to have thinking that can take these opportunities that we see, take these events, and place us in better opportunities and better positions. We don't want to be late. We don't want to be behind. We don't want to have to keep rushing or keep watching other cultures take advantage of opportunities. We want to be a part of the opportunity that is created for all, right? These are equal opportunities. The only part about it is because we don't know. That's where it becomes unequal, because we aren't doing our research, because we aren't doing our Googles and making sure we know and staying up to date. We're falling behind. A lot of us are falling behind in the race, in success in life. And 90% of the people that do watch this video may not take action. Most people that watch this video and listen to me talk may not take that next step right after watching it. But to those that will, to those that understand what I've been saying this entire video, take that action. Reach out to me. I provide information on this stuff. Reach out to me if you have any questions, if you want to get tapped in, if you want to get ahead. Because as much as the opportunities are there, right? As many opportunities as out here for the world, for everybody to take advantage of, it's quick, right? So the same opportunity that was available Monday may not be available Tuesday, because somebody understands it. They understand what's happening. They understand why they need to grab that opportunity and seize that opportunity before it's too late. And I just want to get this message out there to those so they, start thinking like that. It's still early January, it's no rush to finish. We just started, but there is an urgency to shift the mindset so we can shift our direction and future. If you're somebody that cares about success, self-development, self-sustainability, ownership, privacy, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap in with me. Message me on the platforms. I'm on Twitter, X, TikTok, Instagram. So reach out, ask me some questions. Let's dive into some topics that you got questions about, that you're interested in, so that way we get you and your folks and your peoples on the right timeline instead of being on the late timeline. All right. Again, my name is Nas. This is another Energy Intel.